morning. You can't see us right now, and I'm sorry. Jimmy's turn on light. We have an overcast, and I didn't realize how dark it was. Joining us for the first time. Hang on, we're getting God. God said, "Let there be light." Uh, there we go. Good morning. Oh, that's better for them, not for me so much. How are you this morning? Timmy's lacking coffee. I don't know if you can do a coffee conversation without coffee. Good morning.
I got Jesus.
He'll wake you up.
How y'all doing?
Oh, was there only one egg this morning?
We got one egg this morning. Chickens are on strike.
Is the crow still eating eggs? I thought I saw one in the driveway yesterday.
Yeah, so we've been noticing having some crows fly in and steal our eggs. So
not a lot we can do about an aerial predator.
Yeah, the old fox in the hen house is
a crow.
Is a crow now.
But hang on now, if you notice this one, there's a little beak tuck right there. Do you see that?
I think that's where I dropped it.
Did you drop it?
No.
Oh.
Anyway.
Anyways, good morning. And I'm sorry, y'all. I just got out the shower, if you want to call it that, because we're going to start. I got to figure out what's best for y'all and what's best for us. We missed last Sunday because we had to go to church early so I can use her internet to upload a video for our work. And we're going to start going to Sunday school. It sounds so juvenile when you say Sunday school. I prefer to say a Bible study. Does that sound better? I don't know. Anyways, they call it Sunday school before church on Sundays, and it starts at 9:30. So that puts us getting up earlier, doing our morning chores, and hurrying up and getting to church before or on time. So the whole 8 o'clock having coffee on Sundays is not going to work. And it's too dark at 6 a.m. to have coffee with y'all and use the sunlight and not have to use artificial light. So we need to think about this. We were tossing around doing it either on a weekday or Saturday morning. So send me your thoughts, please, on that, okay?
We can do Saturday mornings with Tim and Amber.
I don't mind Saturday mornings because typically, y'all, I didn't even brush my hair yet after I get out the shower, so hang on. I don't mind Saturday mornings because we generally don't have plans for Saturday mornings. We might go someplace on Saturday, but anyhow, that's that. So good morning, welcome, have your coffee. My name's Tim.
My name's Amber.
Sorry. Okay. Go ahead. You did the intro. Let me hear my coffee.
My name's Tim, and this is Amber, and we're two of the five who moved from the coast of South Carolina and moved to the Smoky Mountains of East Tennessee, and we're here with our 3 children and mother-in-law.
Good morning, Benjamin. I need more coffee. Yeah, no, hey. Benjamin, if Bridger's up, please tell him happy birthday. We can't wait to see him today.
What's up, Jermaine?
So anyhow, this is something. So this morning, we don't know what we're going to talk about, but I actually have something on my mind. Because Timmy wasn't even planning on doing this because we are leaving early for church this morning. And sometimes we have something that's really on our heart that we want to talk about or stuff in the world that's going on. I asked Timmy, I said, do you have something on your heart you want to share? What'd you say?
I said no.
I said, you don't have anything you want to talk about?
I mean, of course no. I always do, but I mean, you know.
Nothing planned.
Yeah, nothing planned.
So this is what I was thinking about, because we have been working a lot for our paid job. Filming a commercial, if you will. It's kind of like a infomercial that you see on TV that they're selling something. But this is it's selling homesteading. And to me, that's not a hard sale because we feel very passionate about it. It's the way we live. We chose this life on purpose, or it chose us. But we weren't born into it like so many others are. We were called to it. And so we're passionate about it. So it's easy for us to talk about it, to sell it, because we are passionate about it, especially with everything that's going on in the world today.
Yeah, we were called to it. Hey, Timmy, you need to move in the woods, son. Let's go. Here I am.
Will you answer the call? So anyhow, are you seriously not going to get coffee?
I'm good. I'm already kind of jittery.
How can you have coffee conversation without coffee?
I got it.
How many did you drink?
1.5.
Okay. So anyhow, that's what we've been doing. That's what we've been doing this week, and this our last actually for months now. Is working on that book for the company that we work for, and working on a um, TV commercial ish, if you will. But we're self filming it, and so I don't know where it's going to go or how it's going to end up or who's even going to see it. But the point is, we've been talking daily, repeatedly about this lifestyle. Almost that it should be completely second nature by now. The things that we're talking about. What are you looking at?
I'm looking at myself.
Because your eyes are down. That's the hard part. Doing this filming, it's like you're looking in a mirror the whole time, but that's not where the camera is, so you got to look somewhere else. And we're not pros, we're not actors, we don't play one on TV. But long story short, is I've been thinking a lot about culling, and not just animals, but plants and things that have a negative impact in your life. And Benjamin, we were talking this week. We're saying that not everybody is in your life forever. Some people are in your life just for a season. Sometimes you have people in your life out of loyalty, but that loyalty is hurting you. So it's time to call. And we discussed this. What?
Oh, I didn't mean you, but I was like, it's time to get rid of it, sometimes. I wasn't pointing at you.
Yes, you were.
I know you took that the wrong way.
I would. So he's going to call me out of his life. Good. That's okay. If I'm a negative in your life, call away, brother. See how far you get. But the point is, a lot of times we keep things in our life, whether they be unhealthy animals, sick plants, unhealthy people, because we don't want to cull. And culling, actually, just if you think about pruning a tree, it helps it grow. It brings new growth. It brings new fruit. And I think that metaphor can be applied to so many different things in our lives. And you really have to do some soul searching. For instance, an animal. We do IPM here on our homestead, Integrated Pest Management. We do not treat our animals on a scheduled regime. We do not give them antibiotics or dewormers certain times of the year, every single year. We wait to see if there's a problem, and then we address it then. Because animals that constantly are treated, they become weak. Their bodies, their immune systems cannot fight it. They cannot fight it. They don't have strong immune systems. And not only that, is the constant use of antibiotics and everything is creating super bacteria and super viruses because they adapt. Nature always adapts.
Yeah.
And if you, for instance, my mom is raising our baby chickens right now. We got to bring those up here, by the way. They're grown. They're time to come up. We got some hens, and we had her raise them because she can support a heat lamp, and we can't up here on our off-grid property. And if there's a weak chicken, one that has a scissor beak, or one that's always sick, or one that's just not doing good, and the other ones are picking on it, I let nature take its course. I don't intervene. I know that sounds horrible, but I want strong animals. Weak animals breed weak animals.
That's right.
And you're just degrading the line if you continue to let those weak animals survive. If you look in the wild, I'll never forget this. We were at the mill pond in Linden. It's a little town I grew up in. And I saw all these ducks attacking this duck and like drowning in it. I couldn't figure out what was going on. And after observing, they were killing it. It was a sick duck. It was a weak duck. And they were killing it. And had they not killed it, they would have become prey, and that's why so many animals like goats, donkeys, chickens, even rabbits, if they're sick, they hide their sickness because they don't want to attract predators to their group, and they don't want to attract predators, period. So for us, it might not seem humane, but if there's a sick or there's an injured one, we either hands off. Now, if there's something that's injured, we will help it as much as we possibly can. But if it's chronically ill or chronically sick, it has to go. Because if it breeds, then their babies are going to be messed up genetically, and they're not going to be strong, and they won't be able to survive. And the same thing goes with plants. I noticed, your plants and your trees and everything. If you have a tree, you're sitting here and it's sick and it's diseased and you're constantly throwing stuff at it and you're throwing chemicals at it and you're throwing natural treatments at it and it's just over and over and over again. One, I would see why. Chances are your soil's messed up. But two, it could just be bad genetics and you need to get rid of it. I started this thought process when we were talking about homesteading because that's a hard decision. I mean, that's a really, remember that baby duck and its little leg popped out? Its little bone popped out of its leg and how hard it was to kill that duck?
Yeah, I mean, it's natural for us to want to, save something.
But, and intervene.
Once it, gets to the point where it's just, it's not gonna have a normal life. It's,
and if it's weak genetically, it's just,
you can't pump it full of antibiotics and chemicals and everything like that, because all you're doing then is you're suppressing its immune system, or the same with us. And I know there's times we would go to the feed store and all we could find was medicated feed, and once you
that's constant lately.
Once you get your animals on that, then
it can't be dosed properly.
Yeah.
The stuff smells toxic.
It does smell terrible.
It's horrible. I wouldn't put it, we were talking about that this week, that believe it or not, this I know it's horrible to say out loud, but the water at our church is poisoning us. And I can smell it. I can't even drink it. And it's not the church's fault. It's city water. I understand. But it's poisoning us. And if you're away from it and you get around it, you can smell it. Just for instance, like if you have a lot of perfumes and plug-ins and all that kind of stuff in your home, those are neurotoxins and they desensitize you. And you can't smell it in your own home, but somebody who's allergic to fragrances walks in and boom, it hits them right in the face. It's the same thing with water and the chemicals that are in it. We drink really amazing, purified, clean water. And not only is it spring water that comes out of our artesian spring, but we also filter it with our Berkey. So it's just the best tasting water ever. And you go around that city water, and I said our church because we go there so often, and I only drink water. I don't drink soda or anything. And just to put that cup up to my nose,
yeah,
holy guacamole! I was like, I can't drink that. It'll make me sick.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking what it's doing to all the people that don't realize it because they're around it all the time.
Yeah, they use it on a daily basis, and
it could be making them weak.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're going back to the culling situation. Like even if you, like I said, if you have a plant, I had rosemary this week, and this is where I was going, oh my gosh, it looked beautiful, it looked healthy, and then I looked at the roots at the base, and it started dying at the base. I'm like, something's not right, and I'm feeling the soil, and it's right, and it's getting sun. So I take it outside and I examine it, and that joker's covered with spider mites, and they're just sucking the life right out of it. And I said, okay, I'm going to give it a treatment, and if it doesn't do it, it's gone, because I'm not going to sit here and baby this plant. It's either going to have to be strong roots and a strong plant and survive this infestation, or it's not. But that's all there is to it. And that's kind of where I am on all the different aspects of my life.
Yeah, if it hadn't been her going to transplant it, chances are
it would have died.
It would
still might die.
She wouldn't have seen it, but.
And sometimes you don't see the things that are the cause. Yeah. But Culling, I know I have some people in my life, very close to my life, that they are willing to do everything and anything to save everything, single thing, and when it's best for both people to just cull. And that's a hard lesson to think about. But like I said, think about the tree. When you're culling those dead branches, when you're pruning them off and you're cutting away the dead stuff, it makes that tree grow bigger, better, new branches, new fruit, new life. And that's how we need to treat the things in our homestead.
I'm good with it.
And in our life.
Yeah.
Relationships included.
Yeah.
We can't be so loyal to something that it's hurting everything all around, and it's just not. It's not doing anybody any good.
Yeah, look at it like a fruit tree.
I just said that, Joker. You can't take my word.
In order for it to produce, you have to trim it back.
Mm-hmm.
Like the old mulberry tree, yeah.
Do you want to talk about mulberry tree?
No.
Why not? A friend of mine, I am going to. Let's go on mulberry tree since you brought it up real quick. A friend of mine, Joy, her last name escapes me, starts with a P.
Joy to the world.
You were too cheesy this morning. She was talking about, I want to say it was Joy, pretty much. I think it is. She was saying how if you cut a mulberry tree down, all of these new shoots and stuff, and there's a certain way to cut it down, a certain way to trim it, come out, like tons of them, and they're great for forage and stuff for your animals and critters, especially your goats. And we had some mulberry trees that were big and beautiful, and the county came through and cut them down because that was their easement. And clipping those, and we're kind of a little bit upset about that. We were down there yesterday looking, though, and there's a lot of new whips that are growing out from that. Yeah. And we're like, wow, we had one tree, now it looks like we got 50 right in that spot. See, so culling is a good thing. The other thing they culled, in that we noticed, we have hazelnut trees. I love our hazelnut trees. Our squirrels love our hazelnut trees, and we can never get the stinking nuts before they do.
What did we find yesterday?
Oh, the hops. I said, there's a hops tree. It's hops something.
Hops bean.
I think it's hops bean.
Yeah.
And it's also called ironwood.
Yeah.
And we haven't begun to discover all the amazing things here on our land. And maybe one day we'll live long enough that we can. But we were leaving. I said, those flowers on that plant look like hops, like, what they make beer out of. And we were looking up, and it's a hops tree, but it's not what you make beer out of. However, it does have medicinal properties. And that's the cool thing, too, is finding it, something like that, finding its use, and putting it to use. It is used, the Indians used it for pain relief and toothache, the inner bark. And it is also one of the hardwoods. That's why it's nicknamed ironwood. They make knife handles and axe handles and work tool handles out of, because it's such a strong wood. However, before you go chopping that tree down to use it, I'd like to make sure that we've got plenty others on the property.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Just don't chop the only one we got. But then there's little nuts inside the hop flower on the hop tree that are edible and quite tasty from what I read. I'll take their word for it for right now, because I got my hazelnuts. But that's it, y'all. Short and sweet this morning. And we'll get a time together. If hopefully you guys can reply. I'm thinking Saturday morning. That's what we're leaning to. Because during the week, sometimes we have doctor's appointments and all that, and I can't be consistent. And I want to be consistent having coffee with y'all. Because we have coffee every morning anyhow. So.
Yeah, so you can watch us and they can watch cartoons.
Saturday, yeah. Oh, wait. Today we're going to a prepper meeting, y'all, and I can't wait to share that information with you. And part of it is talking about that homestead community that I was talking about, that we talked about, 2 weeks ago? How important it is to have fellowship. And so, of course, we're going to church first, but then we're going to our prepper meeting. And this month, they're discussing your everyday carry, but everyday carry in your vehicle. So if you don't know what an everyday carry is, it's something that you carry on you every day, all the time. For instance, if you're an asthmatic, you always carry your inhaler. If you, have your CDL, no, not your CDL. If you have your carry permit, and that's what I meant. I've been working on a CDL for a client. So you always carry Band-Aids. I have Band-Aids in my purse for Timmy. Don't carry the sutures, but I need to.
The staple gun.
So, anyways, it's an everyday carry for your vehicle. Things that you should have in your vehicle for any emergency. Like for wintertime, you have your extra clothes, your food, your bottled water, your de-icer, things like that. But this is everyday carry for emergencies. So I'm really excited to glean this information.
Yeah, we'll throw in a spare tire and a jack and a tire.
Speaking of, Yeah, two situations in the last week. A friend of ours, a neighbor, his grandson that lives with him broke down. Flat tire, didn't have a jack. He left his jack at home. Dundee and he get it home. And these roads around here are dangerous for stopping to do something like that.
Yeah, there's nowhere to pull off.
Uh-uh.
Unless it's someone's driveway.
And then they'll come out with a gun.
Yeah.
No kidding. Right here in our neighborhood, anyways. And then so we were coming home yesterday on a corner. There's no cell service. It was a corner that was only wide enough for one vehicle. It's the worst corner on our road, and it's on a hidden hill. So you don't see the vehicles on the other side until you get to the top of that hill. Horrible, horrible location. But this is how good God is. We were at Wally World, not my favorite place. Timmy and Lyndon were running into Wally World for a quick little thing of ice cream. I got a message for a special little boy that needed a birthday present. So I parked the car, and we missed each other going in and out. So I run in to find them, get ice cream. They ran out to find me. Anyways, by the time we found each other, we were both mad, and we were just kind of ugly to each other. Like, where were you? The ice cream's going to melt. Where were you? I need to run in here, blah, 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 so it was that kind of thing. So we get what we need to get. We're still tipping all the way home. Just both of us are steaming at the nose. Are you still looking at yourself? Because the camera's up here. So we're coming home, and the bottom falls out the sky. And I'm all excited for a moment because we're trying to fill our pool up with rainwater. It's a story, y'all. I'm sorry. Go ahead and drink your coffee. Then I got mad again.
She's almost done.
Because I realized this joker didn't turn on the rain barrel so we could catch the rainwater. And it's pouring down rain. It hadn't rained in days. And we're needing to fill up the pool because we don't have running water. So we get to this curve, and I'm like, well, as soon as you get home, you better run to that rain barrel and open that joker up. And here's this car. What is it? What kind of vehicle? I saw it SUV, but they all look like that to me. Okay, thanks. With its flashers on right at that hill. And I'm like, we can barely get around it. Two women were in there, I guess a mother and her teen daughter. And her vehicle had broke down. Their alternator quit working or something. And it's pouring down. It's lightning. It's thundering. And they were stuck. And there's no cell service. So wonderful Tinker Timmy got out in the pouring down rain with lightning. I'm like, Lord, please protect him because he's got jumper cables. You talk about being a lightning rod. He's sitting here with jumper cables with a battery and lightning popping everywhere. And he pushed the car back, got the car back safety off the road and all of this. And it was just amazing. I'm bragging on it a little bit. But the whole time I was thinking, had we left, had Timmy found me and I found him and we left when we were supposed to at Wally World, we would have not run into those two ladies in the middle of nowhere with no phone and no vehicle and pouring down rain. And it just kind of makes you feel like an idiot, and it also makes you humble. Humbleizes, is that a word? I don't think that's a word. Made it up.
I've been humbleized.
I like that. Humbleize me. About complaining about, the tip that we were in at Wally World and, wanting to get out of there in time before their ice cream melt, me needing to get what I needed to get. And I was like, if we would have left when we did, we would have missed this opportunity to help these ladies. And thank God that Timmy was with me because I wouldn't have known what to do with them. I would have just put them in my car and drove them back to my house to let them use the phone. But it was, God works in mysterious ways. And if something icky goes in your life, don't sit there and get mad and stomp your feet and blow smoke out your nose.
Oh, yeah.
Look at it as like, this could have been a blessing for somebody. And there are things, God works in your life all the time and you just don't realize it. And so don't complain.
Yeah.
It's too short.
So that blessing can go one way or the other. You can help somebody, or it might be keeping you from something that could harm you or harm someone else. So, like
losing your keys and not being someplace,
and, we're really quick to stomp our feet about that sometimes.
Because it don't go our way.
Yeah. And
we never know what God's working on in the background.
Yeah. It's so easy to lose our sight on the big picture here.
So it was, I mean, we might have helped her, but it helped me because it made me quit being a brat. But anyhow, that's it.
All right.
Okay. Y'all have a blessed day.
Thanks for putting up with us.
Bye.
Bye.
What is that sound?